Why hello Starlings! So this video was actually a request. I know, well I'm just shaking this tripod, aren't I? Just leaning into it all the time. One second, let me fix that. Okay, I think I fixed it. So this video was actually requested by one of my followers, Satori. Thank you so much for this request. And perfect timing too, because I need to do my eyebrows and just polish them up, fix them up before I go on this little trip of mine. So I'm going to do that now because she had asked me, how do I maintain the brow shape? How do I get the brow shape? How did I get the brow shape? And it took me a very long time to get to kind of where they are. And I'll talk about it while I handle this mess. It doesn't look like a mess from far away, but trust me, it's a mess up close. For context, I had horrible brows growing up because I didn't know how to maintain them. No one taught me. I had all these sisters, but no one taught me how to take care of them. And for reference, I kind of looked like Groucho Marx. It sucked for a very long time having sucky brows, and I just didn't know what to do. I was terrified of waxing. I was terrified of plucking brows. I was terrified of all that stuff until I was about 12, 13 years old. I got my eyebrows threaded for the first time. And while they looked great, it only lasted me about 2 weeks because I grow a lot of hair really, really fast, which sucks. So I didn't want to have to spend the money every 2 weeks just to keep them up, but I didn't know how to properly shape my brows, and they didn't really have a shape other than square. So in the end, it just kind of became trial and error, and I can show some pictures of what happened. I used to really, really love how I could get my brows to be kind of like a rounded out shape instead of so much squared, and it took me 2.5 years just to round out the brows, and this one never really did that for me. It always ended up having just the sparse hairs here, whereas this one, now that I want that square shape back, it doesn't want to cooperate. These hairs just keep going this way when I want them to go this way. And also I've seen that thicker brows have now become a trend again, like they're back in style, and I did not get teased and called caterpillar brows just for me to be able to thin them out and for thick brows to become popular again. I'm not doing it. I'm keeping them medium. I'm not going with the trends at this point. I've had it. I'm not going back to thick caterpillar brows even though now everyone wants them. I didn't get teased my whole life just for it to become a trend. Now that I have the backstory out of the way, let's get to how I maintain my brows and keep the shape. That's maintaining brows, Lita. So I don't know if you can really see because of the lighting, but I have a lot of sparse hairs popping up, and I don't want that. So what I usually will take is, you can get any aloe gel, some type of gel, because you want to soften the skin. That's the first step. But I like to use pure aloe, and this is some that I actually got in Aruba, and Aruba, in my opinion, has the best treated aloe, in my opinion. I do have makeup on, just gonna be memed. I was gonna say not on my eyebrows, but I got it all over my face, and I have makeup on my face. There was my first clue that that was gonna be a bad idea. But why I'm doing this is because if you're going to use a brow razor, I don't really know the technical term for them, you're going to get little cuts with the razor like you would if you were to just take a razor and shave yourself without prepping the skin. And you don't want that. And I don't want that. I don't want little cuts because those hurt worse than paper cuts. So the forehead makeup's just gonna have to go. I rub this gel in real good. I wouldn't recommend a lotion, I recommend a gel, just because it lasts longer. It softens the skin a little bit better than lotion, in my opinion, but you just wanna really get it all in there. Ooh. There's more gel in my hand. Okay, this step's gonna be a little difficult for me to do on camera because I need to have a mirror so I can see what I'm doing so I don't mess it up. But I like to take, you know, you've probably seen them. They're just these little eyebrow razors. They're perfect because you'll see. I like them because they're quick and efficient. So I do short little strokes. And I usually like to have one hand kind of holding the skin as I do it like this. but I have to hold a mirror, so wish me luck. And what I do is I'll start at the top, and then in between I'll wipe this off to get all the hairs and the excess gel off, so I know what I'm working with and the blade stays sharp. And no matter how thick your brows may be, there will always be some sort of shape to them. You just gotta carve it out and find the shape. So I push the blade repeatedly until I reach where that shape starts, and then I move to the next little section. So I work in sections. I start here and I just keep pushing it until I get all the hairs, until I get to that shape. And then I move down a little bit. And then I move down, like so. And if there's any hairs that I just couldn't get with the razor, I will go in with tweezers and just pluck those bad boys. Bad boys, what you gonna do? I also like using gel, excuse me, when doing this with the razor, because then it gets rid of the discoloration where all those hairs were, which I think is great. Then I'm gonna go to the other side real quick on the top and just do the same little process, yes. All right, let me clean this off, be right back. Sorry, I had to reposition you because I couldn't see what I was doing, but that's on me. Okay, I switched it back. So, next step is going to involve a little spoolie and, one second, little scissors. So these are cuticle scissors. I got them instead of just regular like brow scissors or cosmetic scissors because they have a curve to them, which helps me get up and close without nicking the skin, which I really like. So what I do is, some of the gel, even though I wiped it off and I wiped away any of the excess hairs, it helps the hairs stick up where I want them so that I know exactly where I want to cut. So yes, you're gonna give your brows a little haircut. So I just see where all the hairs kind of can meet symmetrically, and I cut accordingly. So it really is like beauty school and giving your brows a little haircut. It's a little weird feeling, especially if you're doing it for the first time. How many times have you heard that one? But after a few times, it gets easier. So I also like the curve of these scissors because I can just go down the brow. And if you mess up, you can always use makeup to cover up your mistakes, which I have done many times, especially literally while I'm making this video, I messed up. But you can't even tell. Let's go to the other side. This is my more difficult brow because I worked so hard to get it to a rounded out shape, and now I don't want that shape anymore. And if you feel like the brow hairs just keep falling and you can't for some reason get them to stay up, just put some aloe gel or whatever gel you're using on the spoolie and brush it through. You can even use just an eyebrow gel if you need to. And then for this brow, I go the opposite way, like how you saw me going with the hairs. For this, I go a little opposite. I'm going opposite. There we go. My hairs on my brows grow way too quick for my liking, which is really annoying. Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. We did good. Off camera, I did just shave in between here, but this brow has always been a little shorter than this one, so I've been growing out these hairs, so don't mind them. They're growing. So they're in the weird in-between stage, just so they can see one another, have a reunion. And I know she didn't ask for this, but I'm just going to quickly style my brows, give you guys a little updated routine on how I do my brows for those who care, because it sort of changed after I learned how to use this pomade, and it is worth the $18 because I have yet to remotely break through this stuff, but it's my favorite out of everything that I've tried. I don't use it all the time, but I do love it. So we're gonna do this. Just because this brow is a little wonky in shape, I do have to fake its shape right now. Because some brow hairs just aren't growing back because someone overplucked them. sound like a millennial, don't I? I do have to shave some of these hairs. I keep forgetting. Why do you guys have me forget? And then, real quick, just so I know how much product is really on the hairs, I brush that through. And then I lightly fill in. I have to fake this brow shape, which sucks, because some of these brow hairs don't want to listen to me. Oh, I messed up there. You gotta trust the process, please. I know it looks bad. It does look bad. I'll fix it. I promise. Just gonna... The sound effects are a great help. It'd also be a help if you guys could see what I was doing. And I don't know how to really explain, but when it comes to the brush strokes, I'm being very light-handed with it. I'm not pressing. It may look like I am. I'm pressing a lot where there's a lot of hair. So I'm pressing in the product so it really gets into all the hairs and the skin. But as I get towards the inner corner, I'm going a little bit light-handed and just gently brushing up the color to give it kind of that natural faded look, because my brows naturally fade. It doesn't look like it on this side. I'll fix that. You gotta just trust the process. And I gently, lightly pull that color through these brow hairs. I know this seems like a very 2016 way of doing brows, and it is a very 2016 way of doing brows, but it's the way I like. Wow, I really gotta fix that. One second. For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Okay, we're not done yet. This one's still looking a little bit thick. So I take concealer. I take a little brush. Oh no, there's actually like eyebrow stuff on this one. Oh no. This can go horribly wrong, or it can look really, really good. And of course, the one time I want to show how I do my brows, I keep messing up. But I start with a big blob of it, and then I just kind of follow the lines given to me by my own stupidity, and I just kind of, this is where I have a lot of pressure applying to my brush, is when I want to drag a bunch of concealer, because I want to push it into the skin as much as I possibly can so it hides all the imperfections and screw-ups that I did. You feel me? Okay, good. Not like that. And then I already did my eye makeup, but I want to gently and not as wide go under, just to really carve it out. So when I'm getting the concealer, I put it on the very tip of the bristles, not on the flat side. And I've been able to fake the shape of this one with the concealer as well by doing this. Okay. It's like I have the brows that I want. And then I do the same thing here, and I connect them down here to make a tail, because my brows for some reason don't make good tails naturally. Sucks. And then we're going to do the same to the other side. I will say this has saved me a lot of money just learning how to take care of my own brows and keep them up. But then I have like sisters and friends who want me to fix their brows, and it's like, it took me 4.5 years just to get to this, and this is not where I even want them to be. Like, I'm still working on them. It's a constant struggle. But trust me, they're a lot better than what they were. And I know this concealer is super light. It's the only one I have out right now. It's my in-between shade. And then we're gonna do the same steps. I used to have such thick brows that I didn't have to do anything with them like I do today, but they also didn't look good. I'll also at the end recommend what brow products I like to use, and you can find them in your according shades, according to your brow color. Unless you're a ginger, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe go with a light brown like a taupe? I don't know. And then I'm going to show how I get rid of this super, super lightness, because I don't like it either, don't worry. And on really, really sassy days, I will take what's ever left on this brush and lightly brush it through the inner corners to give it a little bit of a fade, because that's kind of what I was going for. I will quickly go in with just the foundation that I use just to go over top of it. This is just the Revolution Stick Foundation. I actually really like this one. I didn't think I was going to. What brush am I looking for? Found it. I'm very, very well prepared. There's so many things on my lap right now. And I just quickly blend it in so everything is cohesive and it's not, boom, thick line of lighter concealer. It would just make no sense, now would it? I've also, side rant, I've recently discovered that a lot of people that aren't from the United States tend to really not like the United States or Northern American accents. And I'm debating on whether or not just to start talking in a British accent until it becomes old hat and I just start talking with a British accent. Also, for those who might be commenting, why not just carve your brows out with the foundation instead of the concealer? Because concealer is a thicker consistency than most foundations that you can find. And also, I like the way it looks more with concealer, but also because the consistency is a big plus. While this foundation is on the medium side, it's not enough to cover up, say, hairs that are somewhat growing but they're not fully there yet. It just wouldn't do the same thing. So I prefer a concealer, and then I'll blend this out with a sponge into the rest of the makeup on my forehead, if it's still there. And then I'll cover that up with a powder, and I use powder foundation. It's a lot of foundation. It's a lot of product. The final step is the powder foundation, and I'm just going to use a packing brush just because I don't have to cover the whole forehead because it's already covered in this stuff. So I'm just going to get a lot on here. This is my in-between summer and winter shade because I haven't been out to tan in a while. And I just pack this all in, kind of fix up that fading that I wanted, which is again a very 2016 type of vibe. And then I just lightly brush over because I want to keep my brows as dark as possible because I have very dark brows. This foundation has not set. I can feel it on this brush. Oh no. I'm so sorry. But you know, it's a process. But it's worth it in the end. Right? I think it's worth it. I like how my brows look nowadays. And people are going to say, that's too much makeup. And to that I say, I know, but I don't care. Because if I can make my brows look really good, or at least in a way that I like, then that shouldn't matter how much makeup I'm wearing. Huzzah! They're done. Can you tell the difference? So I'm going to run through all the brow products that, because I've gone through so many, that I really enjoy, I really like, and the brands that I actually really like and do use outside of the ones that I showed you in this video. For context, I have normal to dry to even severe dry skin, but these products really work with that skin type. I don't know exactly how they would work with skin types, say oily or normal to oily or other combinations. I'm not entirely sure, but these personally work for me with said skin type. This is the Billion Dollar Brows Clear Brow Gel. I use this for, say, if I'm doing just like a tinted brow gel and I want to put the hairs in place before I do that. I just run this through the inner portions only. I don't lay down the rest of my brows because I'm going to use a tinted brow gel. The tinted brow gel I love the most, in my opinion, and will spend my money on, is the Milk Cush Fiber Brow. This one is in Cypher, which is their darkest because I do have black eyebrow hairs, and this is perfect. I take it wherever I go, no matter how far away. If I'm traveling, I take this with me. When I'm at home, if I have to run to the store or go see a friend and I don't want to do the whole process that I just did, I run this through, concealer, foundation, done. This stuff is great, and I can still do the inner corners how I want with this stuff. It is awesome, totally recommend. And it comes in a lot of different shades, and it might even have wild colors like blues and purples. I think they may have come out with it. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. Side note, if you want a tutorial on how I do my colorful brows, like for like my Zodiac makeup, I did some like purple brows at one point, I did blue. If you want to know how I did that, let me know in the comments. I will make one, but only if you want it. The next ones that I like, this one was actually a gift from my mother, but she never used it, so I just kind of kept it. It is too light for me though. It is in brunette. You would think it'd be perfect, right? It's by Milani, and it's a really good, cheap dupe if you can find a dark enough one, if you have dark hair like I do, for the Anastasia brow pomade. Even though I love this stuff, it's my favorite. This stuff has a great consistency too. This is an 04, and I hardly used it. It looks like I used it a lot, but I really didn't. But the brush that comes with it is great. I love this brush because the bristles are sharp and very thin. So I love the brush it comes with. I just wish they came with a darker shade. I wish it came in a black shade. The one more pomade I have is, it's by NYX, and it's their Espresso, but it's still not dark enough for me. I don't know if there's one darker than this. I don't think there is. I've used it for my abstract looks. Like if I was playing a character that had lighter hair, I would do the whole concealer and powder to make my brow hairs lighter and put this on it. I don't like this consistency nearly as much. I find it to be a very charcoaly, it drags. I can show, one second, I'll show you what I mean. So for context, here is the Milani one. The one that is a little too light, but has a really good consistency that I do enjoy. It kind of runs like an eyeliner. This is a horrible demonstration, but it runs really good on the skin, and it goes on the skin really, really well. I really like this one. The Anastasia Beverly Hills one you already seen in action. I will now show you this NYX one that is not my favorite. It kind of gives me their, like, the e.l.f. Putty Primer vibe. It's not dry at all, but it feels like it is. How do influencers do this? Like this? Yeah, I don't like that. It's also way too heavy. I don't know. I don't like using this one, so I rarely use it. I would avoid Tame and Frame. That's the tinted brow pomade this one is. It's not my favorite, and like I said, I rarely use it. It's not soft or buttery like the other two that I really like. I only have one eyebrow pencil. I had another one, but I use it as a lip liner because it works better as a lip liner. This one is double-sided. It has the spoolie and the pencil, which is great for if I'm traveling and I just need a quick, you know. This is by Real Her. This one is in, it does not say. It doesn't say. It's a light brown. It's like a light brunette, for those wondering. Whenever I put it on, that's kind of what it reminds me of. So I don't use it often. I use it if I need to like fill in parts that maybe I shaved off by accident or plucked by accident, didn't mean to, and need to wait for it to fill back in. I will just use this. My least favorite ever brow product in here, that I don't know why I still keep it, is the She Glam Eyebrow Cream. This is, I got off Shine. It is too dark, and you can't do anything with it. It is way too dark. When in doubt, I use this, and I use it like a pomade to fill in. It looks like a Sharpie. I should give it to my mother. And my final brow products are 3 different eyebrow mascaras. Both of these are by NYX and I do like them. This one is an espresso and it's too light for me. I just need to avoid espresso altogether with them. And this one is just in black and it is just the right shade for my brows. If that, it's still a little on the light side, but it works for me. But I like this e.l.f. one. It is in, it's their Wow brow and it's supposed to tell me what shade. Oh, deep brown. It's again very similar to the darkest one that NYX has. But all-time favorite is definitely the Milk brow. And that's how I do my brows. But I hope you liked the video. If you want to know how I do the colorful brows and how I make my brows look lighter for, say, if I wear like a blonde wig or a white-haired wig, let me know, because I like messing with my brows. Ever since I learned sort of how to take care of them, I really enjoy playing around with brow products and different stuff to go on them. So if you want to know how I do that, specify in the comments. If you want to see how I do colorful brows or change my brow color altogether, let me know. Or if you have any other different video ideas, let me know as well. I do take the requests and I do read DMs and I do read the YouTube comments, so feel free to comment. I have some social media links down in the description box below for you guys, such as Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. Patreon, you get exclusive videos every month, as well as photo shoots and galleries and DMs with me. We are a small family over there, but it is a lot of fun, trust me. I also have my book link down there, as well as coupon codes for multiple different stores to save you guys some money from cosplay stuff if you're into cosplay like I am, or what else do I have down there? Clothing. I have clothing down there. I have merchandise down there. My favorite merchandise item is the mug. I am a little bit proud of that one. But leave a like on this video if you liked it, and if you didn't, please tell me why in the comments why you didn't like it, so I can prove why you're wrong. But other than that, I will see you all later.
Gold, I fell for fools. Gold,